Today I'm going to give you the details and some first run impressions for the Puma Running Liberate Nitro. It launches in March. It comes in at an incredible 6.5 ounces, 184 grams for a 28 millimeter heel, 18 millimeter 4-foot stack. And best of all, it comes in at an incredible price of $110. So it's a up-tempo kind of shoe, and it features Puma's new nitrogen-infused nitro foam, supercritically processed, so that's where you get the lightweight. The Liberate joins a family of 4 brand new Puma shoes, all launching in March. The Velocity shown here is the daily trainer. It has a rigid profile and a rocker kind of ride. And then we have the Eternity, which is a support shoe with a very soft run guide rails on the sides and a very unstructured, pleasant upper. It's a very soft and pleasant shoe. Finally, the Deviate Nitro, which has the carbon composite plate. We have a video already up on the channel for that. It's your up-tempo near racer. So I took them out for about 4.7. Pardon a little shakiness in the video. I was a bit chilled, and I always film right after I finish my run with these first impressions. But fortunately, the nor'easter had blown out the sea. Okay, let's talk a little bit about our Puma Liberate Nitro after a first run, about 4.5 miles with a solid mile pickup. Okay, the Nitro foam, which is nitrogen infused. Supercritical foam is the real deal. It feels quite a bit like Skechers Hyperburst, but I think it's a little bit softer than, say, in the Razor here. It has more of a kind of a bouncy impulse. As with 3 of the other 2021 Pumas, the Velocity and the Deviate, there's a TPU plate here, a firm plate. In the Liberate, it's really just a clip around the heel, whereas in the Velocity Daily Trainer shown here and the Deviate Carbon Composite Up-Tempo Trainer, it's more a more substantial TPU kind of arrangement below a layer of nitro foam. Here, a firm plate at the heel, which really stabilizes the heel, but doesn't provide any harshness on landing. So you have a very stable landing. You roll nicely to the midfoot, and then kind of a soft but decently responsive, but no torsion, no plastic, no plate up front. So kind of a more traditional kind of ride feel, but with a totally updated nitrogen infused foam. So I really like it. The road was kind of gritty from all our storms. The Puma gripped super well. Okay, so this is a 10 millimeter drop shoe. 2818. So what's quite noticeable is you get a lot of forward impulse onto the front. The nitro foam in the front is very well cushioned. Puma said, hey, don't call it just a race flat, but it could be a trainer. Absolutely. If you like a lighter trainer, and the weight here is an amazing 6.5 ounces, 184 grams. That is light. So this is a very light shoe for a 2818 stack. You'll have plenty of I won't call it soft, but kind of springy, forgiving forefoot cushion. It is a flexible shoe. There's no plate, there's no rocker, unlike the other Pumas, such as the Velocity and the Deviate, where they have a kind of a rocker profile. So this is the flexible one. As far as the upper, it's a mono mesh upper. Similar to the Skechers material, maybe a touch softer, but also what I really like is there's no firm overlays here. Now, how does Puma get a good lockdown of the foot? Well, we have a gusseted tongue inside, which, for example, the Skechers don't have. As far as the heel hold, I think it's better than in the Deviate we recently reviewed. You can see these bolster kind of things here. The hold was excellent. Now, I am a half size up from my true to size. Everything was good at that point, but I think they're a bit long for me. So they'll run true to size and maybe a touch long, but I think true to size for most people. A bit more about the upper and the tongue. You can see here it's a wide, flat tongue. It's not padded, but it's fairly thick, and you can see how it wraps the foot really well. So this is a really solid hold. So there are a lot of shoes to compare it to. The impulse here from the Nitro foam is really fun, very forgiving and dynamic. I'm going to compare to a few shoes. The one that immediately came to mind is kind of the similar drop, older Adios Boost. Here we don't have any torsion plate, so it's a little less snappier, but definitely there's more forefoot cushion. And as far as the heel, you don't have that sort of kind of bouncy Boost feel. This is a more resilient, more responsive foam, this supercritical nitrogen infused Nitro foam. So this is a very exciting shoe. We're going to be reviewing all of the Puma 2021 collection. This one I would call the light trainer or up-tempo shoe, or if you like a kind of racing flat feel that won't beat you up, this would be a great choice. I selected some hot 2021 shoes to compare to our Liberate. They all have a 28 to 29 millimeter heel, except the Hyperion Tempo from Brooks, which is 32. They range in weight from 6.4 to 6.5 ounces for the Razor and the Liberate. And they have drops between 4 millimeters and 10 millimeters for the Liberate. First up, the Skechers Performance Razor Plus. So it weighs 6.4 ounces, so a tenth less than our Liberate. It has a 4 millimeter drop versus a 10. I find its heel a bit low. It's probably a somewhat faster shoe, but one that probably, at least for me, won't range over to training as the Liberate will. The Kinvara 12 from Saucony, it has a 4 millimeter drop. At 7.7 ounces, it weighs an ounce and a half more than our Liberate, and that makes a difference. Its upper, I think, is superior, similar monomesh. It has a firmer, more traditional kind of ride with a lot of road feel. Yes, it might be a faster shoe, but you won't range over into training or distances the way you would with the Liberate. So my pick here would be the Liberate. Next up, the Hyperion Tempo from Brooks. It weighs 7.3 ounces or 0.8 ounces more than our Liberate. It has more stack, 32.24 versus 28.18, and that's probably where the weight comes from. It's the only shoe that I know of in this matchup that also has a nitrogen-infused midsole, which is somewhat firmer, and it's also a somewhat stiffer shoe, so more cushioned, a bit stiffer, somewhat more stable. It's a bit better, maybe faster trainer, but it's not nearly as much fun. So I would pick the Liberate for sort of your faster, shorter runs, and the Hyperion Tempo if you're doing long kind of tempo runs. The Freedom 4 from Saucony, at $150, it's $40 more. It's the heaviest shoe in this comparison at 8.5 ounces or 2 ounces more. It has a 28-24 stack height, so it does have more stack in the forefoot. It's a more stable shoe. It's somewhat stiffer. I would even say that the Freedom 3 is a closer comparison to our Liberate than the Freedom 4. So your Freedom 4 is kind of your stable shoe for fairly short runs. It does have the Power Run PB, as in the Endorphin Pro. It's also a shoe you could probably use at the gym because of all that stability. Finally, the upcoming Hoka Mach 4, which comes in at 8 ounces, so an ounce and a half more. It does have a 29 millimeter heel, about the same as our Liberate, but a 24 millimeter forefoot, 5 millimeter drop. So there's more cushioning, 6 millimeters more at the forefoot. It has a wonderful rocker ride, and its midsole is a combination of ProFly and rubberized foam, which is also the outsole. It's a more versatile shoe than the Liberate, but I think the Liberate still, if you want a fast kind of quick out the door shoe for $110, we're at $130 here, is a great option. Very much for watching. We're going to have a full written review of the Liberate Nitro after more miles. We also have the Deviate Nitro multi-test review on site as well as in video. We hope you'll subscribe to our channel, and thank you very much for watching.